Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. It's episode 76 and today we are starting things off on the Evil Island because I want to do some serious work with villagers. When I was playing around with Iskal the other day, he was showing off his villager trading system and it was all absolutely amazing, and it made me realise that the system that I've created isn't exactly intuitive to use and it doesn't really work that well. I haven't really wanted to play with villagers just because I don't like the setup that we have on this area here. So in today's episode, we are going to be completely revamping the entire thing, and we're going to be working really hard on this to make it super intuitive. First off, I need to create a villager loading system that actually functions properly. Now the first idea that I came up with is some form of stacking system, so we can just punch this guy out like this, and then it will gradually kind of make its way down. But, I mean, they take damage, and it's not particularly smart. So I'm actually going to finally, for once in my life, make use of weighted pressure plates to do something. I never thought I'd see the day. So I've started work on something here. As you can see, we've got 4 chambers, all of them ready to accept villagers. And as villagers fall into here, as you can see, when they actually start to add up, the weighted pressure plate will activate this piston up here, which will stop any more villagers from dropping into the system. So that should protect us from villagers dying from entity cramming. Then we're going to have a zombie over here that's going to cause the villagers to run across into all of the chambers. So that should be like a zombie-powered villager moving system. And then the way that we're going to be getting the villagers is we're going to hit a button, that will shoot a minecart through, and then the villager will drop in here, and I can go, okay, this guy is a farmer, I want him, and I can press a button on this side, and it will go to the correct section, or I can go, I don't want him, hit a button over here, and it will kill. That was weird. That looked like the button activated a birth. That was the strangest thing ever. Anyway, despite that redstone powered conception, I think we need to hook up the wiring for the other sections. And this has given me a bit of a headache, but I think I've come up with something. So I was trying my best to work around different ideas and things like that. The only issue is that obviously we are going to have to be slightly careful about falling in here, and I imagine we probably will. But if we hit this button, then that will kill our villager. Then we can request another one. Okay, we're going to have to think that through because we don't want them taking damage. But if we hit this button, then that will keep our villager. So after spending hours in the Redstone testing world, we're back on the Hermitcraft server. And first things first, we've actually got to destroy everything that we constructed in this area here. It's sometimes a little bit heartbreaking, but you got to do it. I've just gone through all the trades on this villager right here, and they're pretty pants, to be honest with you. Depth Strider 3 is handy, but 40 emeralds is a bit much. So I think this guy is going as well. That was actually, that hurt me a little bit. Anyway, the entire structure has been fully removed, so we have got one big empty skyscraper to fill in with all of the systems. Now, I'm going to build it from the ground up so that we know how this thing's going to come together, and I think actually all of the trading booths are probably going to go in this area here. Like, they'll wrap around like this. I actually think that'll look quite cool. We'll have to put some walls on this thing, but I imagine that will work quite nicely. So I think in terms of this build, I'm going to go for like a concrete-y start. I mean, that's kind of a given. I don't really need to say that considering look at everything in my base. But we've got all of the white concrete right here. And then I'm actually going to mix in these smooth stone blocks. For the first time in this Hermitcraft season, I'm making use of the fact that we can make these things. And they're really pretty. In fact, I'm almost tempted to... We have a lot of stone slabs in this base, and they would look much cooler if they were like this. We've run into our first little problem, and that is the fact that I have made this building a tiny bit too small for this structure. I'm hoping that I should be able to work around it. But then again, I mean, it's not looking good. We need a signal strength of 3, and then we need to power this piston. I'm sure there's a really obvious way to do it, but I can't think of it right now. With these final few glass blocks, that marks the end of this specific part of the building process. So we've got all of the logic in place that is going to deal with our villagers, and they're all going to be stored inside those chambers right here. But now that this thing's done, it's kind of got me thinking about what to do with the villager breeder itself, because currently the villager breeder is broken. It's not producing any villagers, and there are a number of different reasons for this, but I actually think that to make life easier, it might be smart to take the villager breeder out of this building and put it into this building right the way at the top, and then we can drop the villagers down into a water system, then drop them down into here when they grow up to be adults, and then eventually they end up in these chambers. And then we have an automatic detection system that detects when this final chamber actually gets filled up, and it turns off the villager breeder so that we don't run into any issues with the thing overflowing. Yeah, they all seem like good ideas, things that I probably should have done in the first place. Anyway, before we do anything like that, there is a handful of stuff that we need to do underneath this thing. We need to create the killing chambers and also all of the minecart moving systems as well. So those are all done and they're all looking good. So the villager is going to go across like this, and at the minute the powered rail kind of ends about here. We need to do a little bit of working out as to how we're going to get the villager out of the system. But I've just started work on placing some of the blocks in this space here. So we've got these little booths where the villager will drop down into, and in theory, when a villager makes its way into this part of the system, it's going to be there forever, because obviously we've worked out what villagers we want to keep and kill from this area right here. So all of these should be permanent, so when they drop in, this block will extend above the villager's head, and that means that when they drop down into this part of the system, it will kind of automatically fill up from left through to right. The only thing that we have to work out is a few space bits and pieces, how to make it look good, and also, as I say, how we're going to get the villagers from this building into this one. I kind of like the idea of shooting them over using slime blocks, but that might be a little bit dangerous. The Evil Island is actually looking way cooler now that we've got something going on the inside of that plaza. I mean, the plaza was a nice idea for a build, and it kind of filled in that gap quite well, but now that it actually serves a purpose, yeah, it's about 10 times better. I was scratching my head for a little while thinking of how I was going to move the villagers through the system, but I think water is probably the way to go. Now, unfortunately, they are occasionally going to get stuck on the signs, but I'm not expecting a large volume of villagers to be traveling through this part of the system, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. The only thing that we have to work out now is, yeah, once again, how we get the villagers from here to here, and I think that should be pretty easy. But before we do anything like that, it might be good to light up this building, because we don't want all of our good villagers to die. We should probably put some walls on it as well. Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea. Question is, though, white glass or grey glass? I guess to keep up with the theme of the Evil Island, it probably should be grey glass now that I think about it, and now that I've crafted a bunch of stacks. You know what, once again, this actually looks way cooler now that we've got the glass in. I mean, seriously, I keep making decisions that accidentally improve these builds. This is fantastic. I think I've come up with a pretty cool way to move these guys between the two areas that isn't going to look horrendously ugly. I experimented with minecart rails that go over the top and even water streams that go over the top. None of them were pretty. So this is what I've ended up with. And I mean, sure, it's not beautiful. It's not going to win any awards, that's for sure. But it definitely does the trick, and it means that our villagers are going to be transported underneath the ground via minecart. They're then going to shoot up through this water stream right here, and then they'll drop down into each of their chambers. I think this has gone fairly well. Oh, that's where all my items have been going. What has happened here? What have I done? I've managed to really break the storage system. We might have to do some serious groundwork. That answers that. Anyway, I've just spent a bunch of time going around all of the builds in this area and making sure that they're fully lit up so that nothing can kind of spawn on nearby buildings and just launch themselves into this area here, because these guys are the ones that we really, really need to protect. And I've also obviously made sure that this place is fully spawn-proofed as well, and also all of the inside of this area is fully spawn-proofed too, because we don't want any zombies jumping down into the villager pens that are going to be right here. So I think for the most part we're now ready to start work on moving over our villager breeder from this area into this area here, because I actually think that we should build the villager breeder right at the top of this area, because someone said something about blocks being around doors. I was reading through the comments, and apparently that could be the reason that my villager breeder has stopped working so smoothly. So we're going to put it right at the very top so that all of the doors have complete sky access, and then we're going to drop the villagers down and then gradually make them make their way across the front here. And design-wise, we're going to be doing exactly the same design that we have in the other building. This thing was originally produced by ProleteR. I'll put a link to that video down in the description because it's a very well-made video. But all we've got is the one villager up here, the two villagers down here, and then we can turn the system on or off using that lever. Now I am going to make a handful of small modifications to the design so you can see it's kind of stretched out. I've dropped the water area slightly lower just to make life easier for unloading our villagers. But one thing that I have just done is I've just removed the water stream that was originally there from the original design, forgetting that we still need to transport the villagers over from that villager breeder into this area, and it would be really handy if I had some form of water stream right now, so we're probably gonna have to rebuild it. Oh my word, even more of my items are in this area. So what has happened here? We've had a total breakdown of the storage system. If this goes wrong, then we're in big trouble. So I'm removing this. I'm now removing this, and I guess... Okay, so those guys have gone straight up into the water streams. And they're now in the holding chamber. Okay, that's brilliant. Now we need to pick up one of these guys and send them up through this minecart line that I've just created. And that should pop the dude out on the top. Okay, this is good. This is all going pretty well so far. And then I need to try my best to get him to drop down into this hole. Now, out of interest, is he for some reason still going to be attracted to this area even though there's no doors there anymore? Oh, I thought he'd fallen off the edge. Okay, we need to just give him a gentle nudge. Just a little tap. And he is now safely in the system. Okay. The second one was just as simple, so both of those are now in the correct spot, which is absolutely fantastic. And now that I've pushed the slab across, this is all looking perfectly correct. Okay, so the first part has been completed successfully. The next villager we need to get in is the dude up in this chamber right here, but we're not going to worry about that for now. But with the rest of the thing constructed, it's now time to worry about him. So, similar situation happening. He drops into the water, and that was the bit that I was scared of, so thankfully that all appears to have gone pretty smoothly. And thankfully he hasn't fallen off my platform up at the top there, and is hopefully sitting in the correct space. This is all very good. Now, if we pop him out the minecart, hopefully he plays ball, doesn't go anywhere ridiculous, and we can fill in those blocks right there, and he is now our dummy villager. He is the one that is chilling up at the top and actually creating this village. Whew, okay, I was a bit nervous about that one. So, with the villager breeder now constructed and the system switched on, hopefully we should begin to see some breeding happening between these two. Now, I will have to throw some food in, but this should now all be working properly. I don't know, I haven't seen any love hearts just yet. As I say, there does still need to be food put into the mix. But what I've done here is I've created the system that is going to be moving our villagers across into the actual correct area. So the babies will end up in this area here. They'll chill out until they grow into full adults, and then they'll grow. They'll go into this water stream, then go through this water stream, drop through that water so they don't take any fall damage, and land on that area there, which is going to be our zombie-powered villager mover. Now that means that I have to find some form of... some form of zombie. Yeah, it was a manly scream. Yeah, real manly. So what I've done is I've kind of darkened a little spot of the island, and I'm hoping that I can get some stuff to spawn. Now, there's a few other people on the Hermitcraft server, so they could be affecting spawn rates a tiny, tiny bit, but I imagine we can still pull that off. Whoa! He came flying in, that was like a fighter jet. Okay, that was a total failure. I'll be the first person to admit it. So what could we do? I mean, we could just drop the villagers in and see if they just fall into the chambers without the need of a zombie. Yeah, this guy has absolutely no interest in moving across. Okay, we are definitely going to need a zombie for this one. Can you put leads on zombies? No. Hey look, we've got a bunch of zombies that have spawned in here that are holding items, so they're never going to despawn. That's genuinely actually quite useful. This guy is on his way. Okay, so we've got a bit of a long journey, but this guy's wearing a helmet, which is important because that means that he can actually walk on this thing during the daylight. And he is going to follow me, kelp in hand, all the way over to this building over here. This is the weirdest thing. This guy cannot seem to get his head around. Moving past this point. Look. He will suddenly change his mind and decide that he's not going there. That is so weird. That's really odd. I have no clue. I mean, what do we do here? That's so strange. We seem to have been able to get past it, so now we are back on the path. And things seem to be going well, which is good. This is such a struggle. You would not believe. Okay, he's now. Oh, okay. Oh my word. He's really going at me. He keeps changing his mind between the villagers and me. Yes! Yes, 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 yes. We have done it. Zombie is in place. Oh. Blimey. So there we have it. In one episode, we have managed to completely revamp our villager trading system. In fact, we've started again. We've built the villager breeder, we've built the villager storage system, we've built the villager trading hall, we've built everything all in one episode. So I'm very, very proud of the progress that we've managed to make so far. But there's still something very important left to do. Grian has sent me a message telling me about some ideas that he's had and also some plans that he wants to execute. So I'm interested to hear them. We actually look surprisingly similar-ish without me having a mustache. Are you offended by that?
No, I disagree. I disagree.
I've kind of gotten used to having the no mustache. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, me too, and that's not okay. That's why we need to go and get that mustache back on that face, because it's been off far too long. Oh yeah, I was here not long ago, and something awful happened.
Right. Oh, I can see there's...
I totally forgot that you trapped all this stuff. I came blundering in like, oh, it's so good to be... Gone. Dude, I lost all my stuff. I've had to go and spend an hour re-gearing myself. It's not been pleasant.
Oh, I'm really sorry about that.
Why are we even here? Your mustache isn't even here, dude. We're here for your mustache.
We've gone to the wrong place. But on the bright side, I mean, you are the only person that got killed by one of the traps. So I think that summarizes my involvement in the war.
You're gonna make me cry.
Like, absolutely perfectly. Is the one thing I tried to do for G-Team that I thought I had done well on, the only thing that it does is actually kill just another member of G-Team.
Let's get this back on your face and never come back here ever again.
Yeah.
Alright, I've got a dispenser here for you.
Okay.
Let's pop this down.
Do you have a lever or anything like that?
Yeah, I've got a lever. Would you like a shame booth?
A shame booth, yeah.
Yeah, shame booth.
Just so while I'm changing. You're going to have to activate the lever, of course.
Oh, yeah, I got this for you.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
3, 2... Oh, wait, I haven't actually put the mustache back.
Oh,
there we go. Right, ready?
What would have happened? I put my half in.
1. Yeah, you would have had half a mustache. And go!
Yeah. It always itches when this is happening.
It tickles.
How big is my mustache again?
It scales. It scales.
Okay.
I
think that's it. I think that's it.
It's definitely empty.
How do I look?
Like you've got...
What?
Mumbo, what's going on?
What has happened to me?
You've got a double mustache. You've got double mustache. I was like, wait a minute, something doesn't look right here.
Wait.
How have you done this?
Wait, hang on. We must have put the wrong number of blocks into the system. I've got.
You're like 50% more man now.
I'm making up for it. All the time spent with that mustache, I've come back with twice as much.
I was like, something doesn't look right here. Well, you gotta leave it like that now.
This is my life. This is my life now. This is how I'm gonna be. I hate what you've done with the place.
What do you mean? I got 2 lovely chairs.
I know, you always do. There's always furniture set up in this strange kind of void. It's uncomfortable.
It's the infinity room. It's very us, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's so that we can really focus in on what each other are saying, I guess.
Focus on that double mustache thing going on. You got going on over there.
It's seriously...
It's freaking me out, dude.
It's horrendous.
We're gonna have to shave one of those off.
Yeah. I don't know what we can do about that. Do you have
I don't care which one it is.
Oh, I don't know what to say.
Okay, so I've got like our little architect logo here.
Yep.
And basically my base is pretty much finished. I don't know about yours.
Yeah. Yeah, it's getting there. I mean, there's still like a few projects left to do, but for the most part, it's almost done. So
I'm ready to get fully committed into a couple of architect projects. And the only one that I really have in mind at the moment is the railway station that I've been putting off for about 5 months now.
Well, that definitely sounds good. I've actually been, in some of my episodes lately, I've been kind of throwing out this idea that I'd really like to make Amazon in Minecraft, because I'd love it if there was some way that we could have a shop that sells everything. And I mean, I've always been kind of throwing it out there as like wouldn't that be cool? It's only just occurred to me now that there's no distractions or anything like that, and I'm staring deeply into your eyes, that we could totally do something like this together.
So we make a giant warehouse, and do we deliver? Is that the idea? Do we deliver?
I mean,
to people?
I don't know about deliveries would be complicated, but I think some form of just gigantic store, like a warehouse type thing, maybe with some like advanced redstone, maybe with kind of like a semi-delivery system type thing.
Okay.
It could be done, and I think it could be cool, and I reckon it's perfect.
What does it sell? It sells everything.
Everything.
Or most things.
Most things. Yeah.
And you do know that Concorp also sell most things on the server.
Yes, but we're more handsome.
You're right there. You got me there.
But no, I mean, yeah, they would be definitely, I guess, competition in a way. Kind of hadn't thought that far ahead, but I just think it would be fun to just construct something like that. And, you know...
Oh, I like this. I'm in. I am in.
Okay.
This sounds like a massive, massive project, though.
Yeah, it's a big one. I'm just starting to realise, just like my witch hut that I've started doing that's going to take 1.2 million blocks to clear, just as it's come out of my mouth just now, I've just realised that now it's an actual thing. Like, it's a thing that it involves more than just me, and it's not just an idea, it's an actual plan now. We might need help.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. Well, did you see Iscal's latest video? The one just after the war.
I actually haven't. Do you want to explain?
Well, I did. At the end of the video, he showed that he was the person that changed the sign that led me to the prank on the ghost ship. So basically, single-handedly, Iscal escalated the entire war into the whole G-Team versus Star.
That's pretty crazy.
It's pretty funny. I mean, that is
hilarious.
Yeah, it's really funny. So, I mean, that's the sort of qualities I admire in someone, you know.
Good marketing. He's definitely he's got a lot of people involved off of a very simple action. We could do with that.
So I reckon, should we invite him to architects? Because I mean, we could really use the manpower on something like this.
Yeah, we can always. I mean, he's just recently he's placed 50,000 buttons recently, so I'm sure he's open to more grindy projects. I'm sure he's not burnt out.
Exactly.
In the slightest.
If anything, he can collect the quartz.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm thinking we write him a letter.
Yep.
And I'm gonna build something epic in his base to deliver it when I've got time. What do you think?
That sounds good to me. I mean. Yeah, I'm curious to see what this epic thing is going to be that's going to deliver it, because
it's good. I don't know yet, but I'm gonna think of something. Don't you worry. But we'll just get the letter sorted for now.
Right. Okay. I mean, what's it going to say? How long is it going to take to write? How fast are you at writing?
Architect. Lol? Question mark.
That's perfect.
What do you think of this? What do you take a look at that? I don't even know if I spelled architect right. I was.
I'm not sure, but yeah, no, that looks good to me. That's a true labour of love. That is up there. This will be studied years from now alongside with Shakespeare.
I don't think this is even a formal invitation. This is his scout architect. Lol.
It's definitely good enough. He'll know what we mean.
This will do. I'll deliver this to him at some point.
All right, sounds good to me, man. I'm looking forward to this one.
All right, I'm gonna work on building the train station then, while you start planning out some of the stuff for the Amazon project. But we need a name. We can't call it Amazon.
Yeah.
It's
Bezos.
It's not a good idea.
Yeah.
You have to call it something else. Maybe we could hear something. Amazon.
Or just amazing. I mean, we could be amazing. This is architects amazing. I don't know.
Let's hear some. I think we should hear some of the suggestions in the comments, and then hopefully we can work out something. I mean, we haven't started yet, so we've got time to come up with a name.
Of course. No. Well, I mean, you know, did they come up with architects? I can't remember. What was your original name for our crew?
Yeah, they did actually. Yeah, it was originally Buildstone, but architects is so much cooler.
Yeah, Buildstone. Now that I hear it, I thought it was great at the time, but it is really.
Mumbo.
All right. Sorry for blasting our name. I'll get back to my stuff now.
All right. I can't wait.
Yeah. I said, don't worry. I'll get back to my stuff now. Yeah, I'll get back to my stuff now. I'll be off.
when is he gonna realise?
Look, it's been nice seeing you, mate. I'll see you soon. It's been really good. What is going? Oh, I don't have any of my stuff. As I was saying, it's been nice to see you. Oh, it's no better. It's no better. You know what? Just bye. See ya. Bye. Oh my God.